Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition, another episode of Tony Napoli Talk Hour. Today, as you can hear from my music, we have a special guest all the way from Rochester, New York. You've seen him in the 2018 The Voice. It was one of the finalists. So let's bring him on, Mr. Austin Giorgio.
Tony!
You gonna groove with me?
Walking on my own. Now I'm just walking on my own.
Austin, how are you, my friend?
Good, Tony. It's good to see your face. Why do you get more handsome every time I see you? That's what I
It's
want to know.
nature. It's
That's
nature.
Yeah, I swear to God, you
Have you?
keep evolving.
So, where have you been? I know you are exercising social distancing, but you're
Of
somewhere in
course.
the woods. Don't
Yeah,
you
so
think it's
right
a little extreme?
so right now, I'm in, I think it's called Blue Mountain Lake, and I am on the side of a road because the reception is so bad that I had to drive and find somewhere that was like good. But let me see if
And I appreciate it.
yeah, I want to show you guys. I want to just show you what it looks like here, real quick.
Yeah, let me see.
Can you see the? Oh, did it switch yet? No.
No,
Hold on.
let me see.
Can you see it?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Great view.
Yes. So I'm on the side of a road, and hopefully I don't get hit. But
How long
yeah.
have you
So
been there?
so I've been up here for like 4 days. 4 days. I'll probably stay there for a little bit longer. But like Tony, things are like very slow in entertainment. So everything's social and
Slow
like
is not
this, like
even
online.
slow is not even a terminology for what's going on right
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say just pretty much dead.
It's
How
pretty
have
much
you been?
that.
What have you been doing to stay busy and keep
Well,
active?
I've been bored. Obviously, we had to take a big break from touring with different artists, as you know. And as a matter
Yeah,
of fact, a couple of the shows we had together had to be postponed later on
I know.
in the afternoon. I see Lou Greco saying, "What's up, guys? What's going on?"
Oh, I can't see anything. So hello to anyone watching.
Yeah,
I just see your
that's
beautiful face, which I got no complaints.
that's all. That's all you need from
That's
me.
all I need.
Um, but enough about me. The show is about you. All right. So you were 18, okay? 18, 19. It's 2018, and you get into The Voice, and you end up being one of the finalists. How did that happen?
The whole
Tell me
story.
about it.
Yeah, I mean it's So it started with I went to Philly by so before I was into singing and doing what I do. It was I was doing like bicycles and buying and selling antiques and things. And I always wanted to go to a big city. So my mom saw an ad on TV for The Voice, and she told me like, George, you should go like audition. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I got nothing to lose. I always wanted to eat a Philly cheesesteak and run up the Rocky statues stairs. So I did. I just ran up there. I ate my. Actually, I never got a chance to eat the cheesesteak. But anyways, I waited in this line. There was like 50,000 people in total for the whole audition process, and it took like 7, 8 months to get through to being on TV. And then, but what's funny, and I think anyone can relate to it, is I think who I was then is completely different than who I am now, um, but in like the best way possible. So that's that's what I've noticed.
So now you had an amazing. There was an amazing cast of the Voice. I mean, you were on Team Blake Shelton, but also there was Kelly Clarkson, Noah Jones, John Legend, and hosted by Carson Daly. So you had like a prime time, real unbelievable cast. How was your relationship with Blake, and how did you interact with the other judges?
So again, at that time, I really wasn't. I don't know how to say it. I guess I was more into the idea of older music. Like I grew up listening to old standards and jazz and things like that. So I just went in thinking, I know that Blake loved Dean Martin. I'm like, he'll let me sing what I wanted to sing, which was that. But the most ironic part of this whole thing is for the 7, 8 months I was on that show listening to Blake, and he's a great dude. Gave me a lot of great advice. Um, Kelly actually gave me some of the best advice, and that is she told me, uh, because backstage you talk with all of them and you talk with a lot of producers, people that make things happen behind the scenes. Obviously, Kelly, Blake, they're their own artists, but there's a lot of people behind them making things happen. And I think the best advice she gave me is, Austin, if you love the crooning and if you love that, the whole romance of that era, don't let it die by repeating it. You have to reinvent it and make something different, but make it your own. And I didn't understand that until probably a year ago. And I think I'm now even more excited for my music career and everything else that's been happening, because it's fun to make my own music now and kind of take what I love from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s and put it into modern music. That, Tony.
You know,
Music's
a
all
lot of
generational.
a lot of people don't know this, but I've known you for most of your life. That's a crazy part.
That is
I
crazy.
still remember. A lot of people don't know, but I used to own a restaurant, and Mr. Austin Giorgio used to come in all the time as a little kid. I still remember his face. And used to come in with your family, especially with your father. With your father, I believe probably as he had as much influence on you as most of these other singers that you sing about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because my dad's a singer. That's where I get it. My mom can't sing a note for her life, so it's
Neither can
definitely.
I, so don't feel bad.
You don't need to, Tony. Let me tell you something. You don't need a singing voice. You are comedic. Just being you. You are the best.
Can you imagine me trying to sing a Frank Sinatra tune?
You would be beautiful at clearing out the place. At the end of the night, they bring Tony.
Absolutely. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm just kidding, Tony. You know I love you, man.
But instead of New York, or New York, New York, I would have to sing Catania,
It'd be,
Catania.
oh, of course. Catania. How's it been in Catania? How's Italy? Have you been staying close with it?
Catania is more like Rochester right now, not maybe 150, 160 deaths, but they already start reopening. Thank God they haven't been hit as the rest of Italy.
Yeah.
And we're lucky where we live compared to the rest of the state, which is in horrible shape. So, but going back to the voice, you debuted with How Sweet It Is,
Yes.
right? And that's still to this day, because I've been on tour with you quite often, and you do a lot of great tunes. A lot of your original stuff is fantastic. Uh, but I love when you start your show with how sweet it is. I always try to keep you, try to push you to do that tune. Although now you're changing a little bit from. I remember when we started doing some
Yeah.
shows together, and now it's a little different. How are you evolving as a singer?
Yeah. Well, and Tony, you know this because you've been there since after the show. Um, so I will say I am now where I want to be and where I'm going, and that is, I guess the best way to put it is, I no longer I no longer sing songs in the way that maybe other people sang them. I try to do my own way. So when I first started doing shows with us together, it was stuff from The Voice, the crooning stuff. Um, and as I've learned how to produce my own music and I've met people and I've signed some deals now and starting to make my own music, to promote it and market it, a lot of my shows, I still have some cover songs like any artist, no matter who you are. Um, but when I do a few of them, they sound like 2020. They sound how I would want them to sound. And I think the coolest part that I've struggled with and I finally have understood now is there are people that want to hear music and there are people that want to hear you be someone else. And although some people I've lost along the way like that, which is very minuscule, a lot of my fans that know me strictly from The Voice love my new stuff and my covers because they just enjoy great music. Because music's about stories, period. Just sounds different.
I see a lot of people that have been commenting, saying, I know you cannot see them, but Pat Jalonzo is on. She says, "Hi, Tony and Austin." Carlo Russo is saying something that look. along the lines that I look like a rapper with my glasses. But Paige Alonso actually, she saw your show in Utica. We did you and Sal Valentinetti in front of an unbelievable crowd in
Yeah,
one of my favorite theaters of all time.
Stanley, that's a beautiful theater. That the
There,
main
there was,
entrance is from like the Titanic or whatever. It's like designed from the Titanic. Remember they were telling us that? That's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah.
But
Talking
yeah,
about
so
Titanic. Talking about Titanic reminds me of you and I on the boat tour
oh
in Chicago.
yeah. Do you remember that?
That
Oh
was
my! I think what made that so funny was you, period. But then on top of it, it was like, what was the story? You're like, you were. I think you were telling me,
you
and
were trying to tell me that if I wasn't Titanic, I would have convinced Rose to get the hell out of there. In so many words.
you would have somehow found a way to Rose to get off the door. And then when they'd come to like talk to you about surviving, Rose would be, Rose volunteered to jump off the door or something. You would work some angle. Oh, that was
Yeah.
such a funny boat ride. Remember, it was
Yeah.
downpouring. Remember
Oh
you?
my God! It was one of the worst rainy days of our entire life.
Yeah, yeah. You were telling me. Remember the day we got to Chicago? Typical Tony. It's gonna be beautiful. We're going on a boat ride. Farthest thing from beautiful.
Yeah.
But
I
it
gotta
was
tell
it
you,
was a beautiful memory though. It was awesome. Oh my
one of the
god.
best experiences that I had with you was last
Oh,
February. You know,
oh
we
yeah.
did the Voice, America Voices on tour, but bringing a lot of the contestants of the 2018 tour, the 2018
Right.
show, and we brought it all in one stage at Rochester Auditorium Theater. That was a great night, and
That
I
was
saw
fun.
what a great camaraderie you had with other contestants, including Spencer Baker, which you guys went head to head back in the show.
Right, right. Tap back in the show. And that's the other thing too. It's funny. Is like there's really no rivalry on the TV shows. They maybe pin it up like that, but it's all just music, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I agree. I think all of us pulled through for that, and I think there still could be something like that in the near future. We just, maybe get some of this stuff out of the way, this Corona stuff.
absolutely. And I would like to say hello also to Mike DiGiacomo, your manager.
Mike, oh, is he on
Mike,
here?
I haven't seen him, but he's a great guy. You couldn't get a better person as a manager. I mean, it does look like he came out of an episode of Leave It to Beaver, but
No, Mike got that Northern Italian blonde and blue eyes.
yeah,
I think he's got blue. I've stared into his eyes a couple of times. I think it's blue. I can't tell.
I mean, I love him dearly. The only thing I don't want to do with him is go to. We cannot let him pick restaurants.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
we cannot let him do that.
Oh,
Okay,
remember that time we went and because we would meet like almost every other couple of days,
yeah.
and every time Mike would go up, he'd pick some healthy vegan something.
I'm like, Mike, I don't see any meat over here. There's no dead animals on my plate. What's going on?
Tony's like, walk the cow through the kitchen.
He
Oh,
was picking couscous and um, some other stuff.
oh, it was
But
funny.
now, 2018 passes. As you
Right.
said before, you started your own business when you were 17. I mean, besides being a great artist, you also are a really hardworking entrepreneur, always trying to hustle in whatever you do, which I always admired you for that. And you produced and written a lot of songs, and you came out with two albums officially. I think it's one and a half. I'm not sure about the Walking City,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. And you're the
but I
same way,
still got
Tony. I mean, don't
your
you're a
first one.
hustler and worker. Hey, look at that.
I still got the. This is one of the first 100 copies ever.
That's right. Well, we only
Yeah,
made. I wanted the first album to be really special in the sense like I could have ordered a lot and just sat on them and kept signing them, but I wanted the first album to be the one that limited order, and the rest I'll just buy them as or get them as they're
yeah.
being bought. So that was like a very special one. I appreciate that, Tony. You know what I'm meant to tell you is, you know that song Tabletop on there about my grandparents?
Absolutely. Which was a
So
great performance. You with uh,
Callista,
Callista on stage with all the 50 settings
that was
of a
cool.
diner.
See, now that goes to show you. I heard a saying recently about you know the saying, if a tree falls in the woods, does it make any noise? Right. So the same goes for comedy and music. If a singer sings but no one's around to hear it, is he singing? And there's a perfect example of that song Tabletop. We spent a lot of time and money and effort to push that and Walkin'. And we never even really pushed Tabletop that hard. But through TikTok, a free platform, it's now gotten over 1 million plus streams because of
Wow,
TikTok. So
and
it just,
it's a great song. You know, some of my favorite ones. One is a photograph underwater.
oh yeah, yeah,
Great video, great song. I wonder what inspired you. I can just imagine somebody pushing into a lake, and you try to take a picture. That's what. What was your inspiration behind it?
photograph. Well, I think everyone, just like I know you love Duran Duran, and
That's
people make their
right.
own memory. People make their own memories from the melodies of the song and the lyrics. But that song was the idea of a photograph underwater is the idea of someone drinking someone away. Kind of like the photo of someone is the coaster to a drink. So a photograph under liquor, really. So the whole idea of that song was someone trying to forget someone, and I wanted it to be very not straight to the point of that's what the song means, but that's where that song came from.
And then your it's got to be your favorite video of all time, the best video ever, which is
Why?
probably your
Why is it the
biggest hit.
best, Tony? I want
Hold
to
on,
know.
is it true that that's your biggest hit? The song "Walking."
What? Not anymore, and we need to get you in the next hit. That's what needs to happen, Tony. But it was the biggest hit of last year.
And why you think was that?
You need me to say it? I mean, come
I
on.
need to, I want to hear it for my own ego.
I might be wrong, but I think at 2 minutes and 33 seconds in, you'll see Tony Napoli
That's right.
right in making a cameo.
Yeah. No, there was a great time shooting that video. Fantastic song, and I can see that song being picked up in different settings of television as well.
Yeah, you never look at tabletop. That was a year and a half. No, just maybe a year old. No marketing, just one video I put on TikTok, and that video got 1 million streams, and then the song on Spotify, iTunes got over 1 million. So it's like you never know. Songs just take off. It could be years after. Happens a lot actually, but
So far in your young career, what's one of the best, like, couple of the best places you performed at? I know you do a lot of festivals as well during the summer.
yeah. Well, this year we're still gonna do it in the back half of the year. We got a lot more colleges set up as well as like standing rooms, and that will evolve as the cities you go to. Um, I think my favorite places so far, I think the top three would be Reno. I really liked Reno. Um, I think probably Buffalo was pretty cool. And I actually had a lot of fun in Chicago. Chicago was fun for a lot of reasons. You know, that was
Oh,
like this.
yeah.
It was
Oh,
cool.
you met a lot of interesting people that weekend.
Yeah. Oh, it was well. And I met my friends now from Hardcore Italians. So I didn't know they were based in Chicago. I thought they were in New York.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just a lot of fun memories from Chicago. So yeah, but there's been a
Now,
lot.
I know you performed. I mean, we did a lot of stuff in Rochester. Auditorium. Did some stuff with Uncle Louie.
Hmm.
You guys performed together. We did The Voice, Sal Valentinetti, all in Rochester. How's the crowd's difference between being a hometown hero versus going out and go to places that which we might have a different type of crowd?
Um, well, it depends on where I'm going. So like every region is different in who goes to the shows, but the types of people are always the same. Um, I find I find that a lot of times it's the difference between hometown is a lot of people in the hometown know me and if they don't know me, it's through a mutual friend. Whereas when I'm in other towns, it's like uh, I find that a lot of people over like 40 know me from The Voice, and everyone under 40 know me from TikTok, which is kind of bizarre. Um, but yeah, so I find that.
And as a matter of fact, I remember the. I actually remember specifically. You and I were in the car, and we were in Chicago, and you did a video on TikTok that just went nuts, and you end up getting.
That was
I
the
forget
first one. That was the
which
first one.
which one was that.
So that was, and see that plays that was called "Never Seen a Girl Like You." That was a
Yeah.
jingle I just
Let
made.
me see. Can I hear it?
You want me to sing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It goes, I've never seen a girl like you, so sweet and cute. Your love is waiting for you, it's waiting for you. That's like how it like went.
So do
Um,
you think if I sing that, I could get a lot of success
oh
on
my god,
TikTok as well?
are you kidding me? Now I told you. Listen, Tony, I told you what you need to do. I mean, I'm not saying copy DJ Khaled, but you could be your own version of that. Just take it your own
Yeah,
route.
yeah,
Oh my
that's all I
god.
need.
And let me tell you something, Tony. I'm not kidding you when I'm saying this. I'm not just saying this because we're on this video.
Yeah.
If you sat there for 10, 20 minutes and just watch TikToks and react to them, do you know how fast you would blow up? Because watching you is funnier than shit. And
Oh,
for you to
trust me.
watch other people love watching reactions. So I think you should consider doing that.
One of the funniest things that ever happened after you mentioned that, I was on tour with the Lou and Carlo. We were coming. I forgot what city, but we were driving a lot. So we stopped by a diner, and the waitress keep looking over our table. You know, so got like Carlo and Lou. They're like, "Yeah, I think they recognize us. So the waitress comes over and goes, "Excuse me, are you DJ Khaled?"
That
So
is hilarious. Well, it's just and you got such a strong personality, Tony. I swear to God, you could honestly make it and do it in that realm.
Ma- well, we'll see. I'm happy already what I'm doing. You
I
know,
know you're please you juggle so many plates that boggles my mind. Besides being a great father, I mean, you got a lot going on.
no, I appreciate it.
You
So
know.
now, tell me something. I know, and I ask everybody that's been on my show the same question because I don't want to. Obviously, we know that how COVID has affected our industry. I mean, it killed it
Yeah.
so far, and hopefully, it will be revived later this year or 2021. But tell me something positive that's come out of this situation, this horrible disease.
Yeah. I'll tell you something positive in both the personal and professional world. So personally, even though it's not uh, even though it's not recommended, even though we've been self quarantined, I've been around my family a lot more because I'm always usually on the road. So now that everyone's forced to be home, I get to see my whole family a whole lot more, probably more than I want to, which is nice, especially coming from Italian backgrounds. That's just in our culture. And then professionally, for as ironic as it is, you would think this would be the last time this happened, but recently Mike and I signed with Sun and Sky Records and will be through Warner Brothers for distribution. So
Fantastic.
that's like a big step for us. And now we're like doing like we'll be doing like 4 to 5 YouTube videos a week. They're being edited as we speak. So a lot of good things in family and business, even though there's been a lot of nonsense and
Well, I couldn't wish you the
downfalls.
best, a better guy. I mean, you do work hard, and and testament to Mike. I think you took the right management to help because he's a very knowledgeable guy, and more than that, he's very is a hard worker as you are. You know.
I appreciate it, Tony. And you notice too, and I think only people like in the industry can understand it. And you know it even more than I do because you've been in it longer. But you run into so many egos and people in things for the wrong reasons sometimes. I understand everyone needs money, period. That's what everyone needs. But then there's just things where it's like you come across people, it's like, I don't want you on a team, or I don't want this. And it's nice that people like you and Mike and just nice people beyond the dollar and the line at the bottom.
Well, there's a lot, in unfortunately, music industry. There's a lot of people that are going to promise you the world.
Right.
You know, and or even sometimes it's better to sign or a manager that doesn't have as many clients, so they can concentrate more. I knew give you that personal touch versus somebody they're just gonna keep you in the back burner, so to speak.
Right. That's what I've heard from a lot of friends is they join. That's the thing with Mike is him and I. It's more like a well, all of us really. It's a growth. I mean, you bring on people that know certain things in the industry, and everyone kind of helps each other grow. Just
And another person that you work with a lot, and they they can see on the video walking, and you he travels with you quite often, almost all the time, is John Dretto. What an incredible guitarist! I mean, you got blessed with working with a lot of great musicians, but the kid, he's got everything going for him. He's a beautiful looking kid, an incredible guitarist. You know,
oh yeah,
and he looks like a supermodel.
he's a walking Hollister model.
Yeah.
Oh, but he is. He's great at guitar. He's unbelievable. The kid shreds. But it is. It's a lot of fun. Just honestly, Tony, I think the reason why, and you know this, the reason why I love doing the music, and I would like to do this for my life. And if there's ever a chance where I go on the backside of the music career and I'm the one looking for talent, I'm doing this for kids like Natalia, for my kids. There's nothing wrong with culture. I just want to instill a little bit of class, a little bit of respect, but kind of feed it in the medicine that people are used to today. So kind of bringing a little bit of the old, but not replicating it, just taking some of the good things I love from the past,
Yeah,
you know?
as a matter of fact, I saw that one of the things that I think you love to do is to mesh up old music with newer one, and I think you've done quite a few mashups the last couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, and you know why I do that, Tony, is because on TikTok, obviously TikTok's a young platform. A lot of kids on it, and they're starting to get more adults, 30s, 40s, 50s. And I just think to myself, when I'm in my 30s, 40s, 50s, I don't want to feel out of touch. I might not even care about people at that point. I don't know. But I would still want to feel in it. So for me, it's like, how do I surprise the average 40-year-old scrolling on here and they hear a song that they grew up with, but it sounds totally different. It's like, it brings back memories for them. And that's what I like. I mean, it's cool for me to light a spark in them. And I don't know, everyone's got memories to songs,
I
you
can't
know?
wait. Hopefully, it will happen this fall. We have a few Canadian tours. So it'll be your first time in Canada, correct?
Yes. Yeah. That'll be our first time officially in Canada.
We got a few shows planned over there. I would love to see what the reception is going to be from a, it will be your first time out of the country, I believe, as a
Yeah.
singer. Saying,
Yeah. Absolutely. And see that you got to play to the audiences. Like for that case, I would do a couple of covers from this 70s, 80s, maybe some from the past like 50s, um, but do them in a different way. I mean, because everyone that likes music,
right.
you know.
No, and that's the one thing about you that I think you capture the hearts of the younger generation and older. As a matter of fact, I see a lot of people here, a lot of people that are saying hello to you. Zina Seguino, she's from Long Island. She says, I wish you all the best. Keep it real. Daniel Melito from Utica. He goes, such a young kid. He gets it. He gets it. So nice. Bravo. So we got a lot of Pejalanzo is saying hello. We got the, uh, you know, tons of people saying hello to you, and a lot of them seen you live already, so they really appreciate what you brought on stage to them.
Yeah, hello to them too. You know what it might remind me, and then we can change subject is uh one of my favorite artists from the 50s and 60s is Tony Bennett. And I took one of
Yeah,
my favorite songs of his and revamped it. It's called I Want to Be Around. And his management, they actually saw it. They heard the remix. And that's so cool for me to think that, Tony Bennett, this 94-year-old dude was sitting in a chair. And he's probably like, this young kid, he sounds good. Like, I don't know. I just think that's so cool that he hears his song in a different way so many years later.
You know what's something weird? You brought up Tony Bennett. Um, Natalia, my daughter, her first concert ever was Tony Bennett.
That is so
She
Tony
wasn't
Napoli.
even. She was almost not even 3 years old. And as a matter of fact, I went and with some friends of ours, some common friends, with the Ventuzos.
Oh, I love the Fantuzos.
Yeah. So now Soccer Sam is bigger than life. You know.
Oh,
You know.
extraordinary. He's smart
So,
and
but I
kind.
brought her there because I wanted to. I'm like, I mean, Tony Bennett is at a certain age that you really don't know how much longer is going to go on. So
Yeah, you
when he
don't.
had the chance, and this was 9 years ago, that's the crazy part. I figured this would be the last time she will ever have to probably get to see him. So I brought
Right.
her to the show. Now after that, he probably toured. He's been touring every single year.
Just keeps going.
Yeah, the guy is unbelievable. He's a machine. Uh, but
That's
that was
too
her
funny.
first concert, which I
Isn't
thought it
that
was.
something?
Yeah,
That's great. And so he must have been, 'cause I saw him when he was 92 or 93 in concert. So he must have been 80, 82 or 83 or 4 around there.
right. So who knows? Who thought that
Man,
he would keep keep going? You know,
man.
but that's one of the saddest thing is that a lot of these older artists, which brought so much happiness and some a lot of great music to the world, not just here, and they're dying out. Then music is losing grounds for other types of music, which is great. I mean, I'm not knocking any other type. Everybody, music is great for whatever you love.
Right.
Everybody is. um, so when I see somebody like you, or at least you as a crooner, when you do your crooner uh, music, and actually you mesh it up with something new, it kind of brings both worlds together.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of me paying my respect to who I've looked up to. Um, and just they may be gone and their songs will be their legacy, but every now and then, like John Mayer does for his influences from Southern rock. Half times you don't even know he's doing a cover of it if you're not familiar with it. So I mean, it's always paying tributes to your idols and people you love listening to. You
Well,
know,
then let me ask you a question. You're in a
yeah,
desert island. You get to bring three CDs. Who would you bring?
3 CDs.
Well, if we
Um,
still use CDs nowadays, you know, three
yeah,
albums.
3 albums.
Oh no, vinyl is coming back.
It is, and it's coming back in a weird way for nostalgia. I'd
Right.
say the 3 albums would be "Stranger." I think "Stranger" or "The Strangers" by Billy Joel would be one. Um, I would probably do. It's tough. I'd probably do "Room for Squares" by John Mayer.
Okay.
And I'd probably do. Uh, this third one's just kind of a throw in a dart. I mean, any old standard from either Sinatra or Bennett or
Okay.
Ella. I like Ella Fitzgerald. Maybe one of her albums. No particular one. Yeah, I know who yours would be. Duran Duran, Duran Duran, Duran Duran.
Listen. No, one of them would be Duran Duran. What's funny about Duran Duran is that a lot of people back in the days, way before you were alive, see, they perceived them as like a boy band. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like a Backstreet Boys or other, but instead they were real musicians doing great music. You know, and
mm,
he and they, I mean, they have an unbelievable hits. But my favorite part of them was the B sides, the songs that were not really released to the public. Um,
right.
while some people may be listening to Rio, I was listening to New Religion, which is a great bass line, a great guitarist, great lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, guess what? While are we at it, I got a surprise for you.
Oh, I don't
I
like.
got a
I don't
friend
like
of
Tony
ours.
surprises. I don't
Huh?
like Tony surprises.
No?
Yeah. Let's hear your
So
surprise.
I got a good friend of ours that's gonna come on and say hello to us,
Yeah.
Mister Carlo Russo from.
Carlo!
And there he is.
What's going on, everybody? What's
What,
up,
what's
Austin?
up, baby? How you been?
Oh man, I can hardly see you.
Oh, man.
Well,
It's
you're not
probably the
missing much,
reception.
Carl.
Hold on, let me clean my glasses. Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on. What the?
You're,
What's
you're
up,
shot.
brother?
How you been?
Oh my God, so good. Oh, I
You
just
doing
want to
well?
say, what? I hope everybody's good in your family.
Everyone is, and same with you. Your side, you guys are healthy.
Yeah. Everybody's
Good.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Just we're just hanging in there, trying to save the world. We're all being heroes, I guess, on the couch. So that's good. I just want to say how lucky Austin is to know us. I mean, that's really what I want to kind of portray out there. That without us, I think a lot of this in his life probably wouldn't even happen. I don't know if he would even
Nothing
leave
would happen.
his basement, honestly. So, with that said, I've just been listening to like 45 minutes of you guys just making love to each other, just I love
sensual.
you. I wanted to throw it out
There
there.
you
That relax.
I
slow
got
down,
infinite
everyone.
attraction
Slow
to
down.
Austin.
We're not as good as we say we are. Slow down. No, Austin, I love you, brother.
Oh, I love you guys, man.
Hey, in honor of you, I put some. I'm drinking some buble.
There you go. How is it? Do you like that stuff?
It's good. I got blueberry, brother. Blueberry. So, you guys were talking about funny things that were happening, and one of the funniest things that always come up to my mind is when we were in Chicago and all the babies went to bed, and Austin and I were men. We're real men, and we stood up. And I remember we're like we got something to eat. We were like bored, and he's like, yeah, I hear there's a party going on. I think it's a wedding. So I said, oh, there's a wedding going on? And so we kind of walked over there. I said, we looked at each other and go, should we crash the party? I said, let's do one better. Let's just go up there and start singing. And I'll videotape the whole thing, right? So we were laughing. We were probably really sober. So we walked in there, and I just said, go up to the guy and go, hey, I'm Austin Giorgio of The Voice. I'm going to sing a song. Just like, don't even give him an option.
No option.
So I videotaped. You walk up to the guy. I see your hands moving. 5 minutes later, you come back. He's like, he said no.
he said he's shutting it down. And remember, it was just him singing. He was singing to like one person, and it was over. He's like, no, I'm all set. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all done. Yeah. I go, did you tell him you're Austin Giorgio of The Voice? And he goes, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he called the police. He called the police.
And that's when I looked at Austin. I said, stay humble. Stay humble, brother. No one wants you to sing. That's what I said. I remember that.
That was fun.
Was that hilarious?
Remember that restaurant too? It was like trippy. It was like you walked in and you were like in like an acid trip or something. Everything was like crazy decorated.
So Austin and I, we were like, I don't know. I think you guys were sleeping again.
Most likely.
Because you guys need your beauty sleep, and we're already there. So we were like, let's go have lunch, and we were gonna talk. We could have like a little meeting with someone. I won't say their name. So we got that taxi, and they dropped us off at that first diner. We're like, yeah, we don't want to go here. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, well, let me bring you down the street then.
I remember that.
Yeah. That's where they first served Corona, I believe. No, actually,
that is definitely where the first serving came out.
Yeah, there was a plate of Corona on that one. So hey, Tony.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. Fun show today. Got you. We can reminisce about a lot of the time we spent together. But I think Austin's favorite moments must have been when we drove 12 hours from Washington to Chicago in the car.
My God.
I would say that was probably a great moment in time, being in a car for 12 hours. We get one on top of that, Austin. We actually were in a car from Florida with Tony. And
what a mistake! What a mistake!
The smell in that car is still burned in my nostrils. It doesn't matter how much bleach I drink and snort, it doesn't go away. It's called the Florida stench. That's actually my new album. Um, but
Oh,
but the funny thing is,
You
not
know, I
only did
think
it smell,
if I'm
because
not
of course
mistaken,
we smell, we're men, but we
we
had no heat or air conditioning, and the car
oh,
every 25 miles would decide to stop. So
just
if
stop.
we're if I'm lying, I'm dying. So it was literally the worst
Oh,
ride I ever had.
oh my God. I honestly, Carlo, don't doubt it for a second. How about Tony of all people? Tony, the tire's going right over your back. I want Tony of all
Yeah.
people should have an SUV, freaking
no, there
tractor
was
trailer.
an SUV.
He'll, yeah, but he'll remember for the longest time he was driving like the smallest. It's an Audi. Yeah, Tony, it's the smallest Audi on the planet of Earth.
When I first met him, we were going on tour. He pulled up in a Fiat. I'm like, he goes, I think we can fit everybody. We're gonna go to Canada in a Fiat. He was actually carrying it in his pocket.
You're
That's
so
how
full of it,
small.
Carlo.
No, I'm kidding. He does have a truck now.
I heard.
So
Finally, thank God.
Yeah.
And then Tony,
I
It's
one time
actually pretty big. It's
that
pretty large.
that trip to Chicago.
slow down on the big thing. It's
Yeah.
all right.
Bigger than what
It's-
you guys have.
Tony,
It's
how
okay.
about
It's
Tony?
well, our car starts, so that's the nice thing.
That's all you need.
I
Yeah,
think
Tony.
we lost Austin's face there. I think he froze up.
Oh, I might come back, but can you guys
All
hear
right.
me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
I do want to get serious for a second. I want to thank Austin. We've had a podcast for about a year or so. Kiki and I started. Lou's been on it, and then with the whole Corona thing and being quarantined at home, I started to back up. And Austin was gracious enough to let me use his song that I opened and closed the podcast with. So I want to thank you.
Of
That
course.
is now the song of the Winspoon podcast.
Love
As a
it.
matter of fact, let me ask Austin the following question. For a lot of people that are watching this for and they're learning about you, where can they find you on social media?
So everything is my name backwards. So it's it's the @ and Giorgio Austin, like Giorgio Armani, and then Austin, the city of Texas. Giorgio Austin.
Nice.
That's
You're
everything.
weird.
You're weird, Tony. All right, not to go back on it, but I'll never forget. Me and Mike were talking about Chicago, or was it Chicago or Cleveland? I can't remember. And Tony's like, "Yeah, we'll have a bus." Me and Mike. The moment Tony said we have a bus, I'm like, "Mike, there ain't no shot. There's gonna be a bus waiting
A
for us at
bus?
the house."
Austin.
And we get to the house. Where are they? Yeah, the bus didn't work out. We're gonna take these cars. Didn't I drive my Camaro that far?
Yes. You
Yes.
pulled up with your Camaro, and then he pulls up in this godforsaken Mercedes that looked like a pack of wolves were inside the leather and ripped it up like they were trying to find
Oh my God.
Tony's snack of meat that he carries in his pocket. And I swear to God, I look in a car, he's got like $300 thrown around. That's how he travels. Tony, this is not going to be a good show for how I love Tony. He's great. No, you got me on. I'm going to burn the hell out of you on this show.
Oh,
That's how it
that-
works.
that was funnier. Oh my God, that was funnier than shit.
Yeah.
Too many memories. We gotta keep making more.
Oh yeah. No. That's good times, man. Good times. I miss being on the road. Obviously, I know you do, and Tony
I
as
know.
well, and Louie, and everybody out there. We just want to make sure everybody's healthy, so when we do have the green light to go, people won't be scared to come out. You know.
Yeah,
So
I think.
Austin, go ahead.
Oh no, you go, Tony.
No, I was going to ask you. Now, with all this time, you've been free from doing other things. Have you been writing new material? What's going on?
Yeah, so I've been like I told you. So I recently signed with Sun and Sky, and it's a 3-part deal. So we're releasing music through them and Warner Brothers, and then I have to start making YouTube videos. So I've been filming YouTube videos nonstop, and they're editing them, and they handle that side of things. So I've just been doing YouTube videos, like Omega pranks, and then I've wrote about 15 songs, and we're going through them. We're gonna pick like 6 to like release along with like a project at the end of the year, most likely.
Well, one of the funniest things I've seen you do on YouTube is those singing to college girls.
Yeah. That's what we're doing with we already got some lined up before Corona started, and then a lot of it's been on like Chat Roulette and Omegle, which are like online like chat rooms essentially, and you know nothing about the person that you're gonna hit next to, and then I would just psych them out, and sometimes I talk Australian and then I sing in English and they're like mind blown. So it's just things like that. But I know Carlo, you got to be writing stuff too. Like I
Yeah,
asked you
I
on the
mean,
podcast.
absolutely. Louis and I are always, we're always talking, obviously, and coming up with stand up and coming up with skits and revamping the shows and stuff like that, and trying to be creative. But it's so tough. I would love to say everything is nice and shiny and beautiful. I get up with a clear mind and ready to be creative, but unfortunately, you get those days that get very depressing, and you're doing the same thing and been doing a lot of walking and kind of daydreaming and thinking of stuff. So that's creative as well. But I don't want to take any more time. I just want to come on here and say hello. Austin, I love you. I consider you my younger brother.
Love you, man.
And so much success for you in the future. I can see it. And I'll give you a call, and maybe we'll do maybe you can come on to the podcast. And we're going to hopefully start Straight Out of the Basements podcast with Louis and Z. So hopefully we can get together on that. And I just want to give you and your family a big hug, and I miss you guys. Tony,
Miss you.
don't call me. All right. I'll see you guys.
All right.
Love you, man. Good to
Thanks,
see you.
Love you.
Great surprise.
Thank you.
Yeah. See you, bud.
See you.
The bubbly.
See?
That was good. That was a good
Lou
surprise,
Greco,
Tony.
talking about Carl, but Lou Greco were just messaging us. He says he's trying to figure out what your talent is.
Good old Lou. I swear to God, if Lou sneezed, he'd crack my rib.
Yeah. He's like the
Oh, Tony, you froze on your end. I don't know if it's frozen on my end. I think we are frozen. Whew. I gotta open this door. I'm gonna try to step outside. Maybe that'll make it better. Oh, it's frozen.